1. Aries, June. The investigation of a serial killer whose killing spree went on for more than 50 years had been one of the most repulsive cases of my career. Whether my next assignment, if I took it, would be any less so was a toss-up. Human traffickers and murderers were equally vile. I'd learned that firsthand while at the CIA.
"I appreciate you meeting with us about this,"
said Merrigan Shaw Butler, the managing partner of the firm I worked for, K-19 Security Solutions.
"I know things did not end well for you at the CIA."
Didn't end well? That was a gross understatement. While I'd initially thought the current director of the Central Intelligence Agency was a decent guy, the fact that he cleaned house the day the Senate confirmed him meant I'd lost my job. Why? I still wasn't certain, other than being guilty by association. Since I was a deputy director, it had to mean I was just as corrupt as my former boss had proved to be, right? Wrong. Kellen Money McTiernan fired me without as much as a conversation, let alone a formal inquiry of any kind. The only saving grace was, less than 10 minutes after being escorted out of the George Bush Center for Intelligence, I got a call from Cade Doc Butler, the founder of K-19 and Merrigan's husband, asking me to come work for them.
"Director McTiernan specifically recommended you for this assignment,"
Merrigan continued. Wrong thing to say. I shook my head. Sorry, but I can't.
Look, I know what went down back then wasn't fair or right, but consider this a very prestigious olive branch.
When I reached my office, I realized the man wasn't behind me, nor did I see him. If he thought for a hot minute I'd seek him out, he'd best prepare to die of starvation instead, lost in the maze of Vauxhall Cross's corridors. However, before I unlocked the door to go inside, he'd caught up.
"You're joking,"
he said when I motioned for him to take a seat after I'd moved the files stacked on the only chair in the small space other than mine. "Pardon?" I said, all but slamming the files on the only spot on my desk not already covered by the same.
"Tell me this isn't your office, and if it is, this is not how you typically operate."
"My modus operandi is none of your concern, Officer Kappas."
"Just Kappas. Aries or Philip work equally fine."
"We are colleagues in this investigation. I do not report to you. Further, I can assure you I haven't been micromanaged since I was out of nappies. Nor have I needed to be." He waved his arm over the desk.
"How many cases are represented in this mess, Jordan?"
"There is only one case of concern to you." Rather than bother taking a seat, I grabbed my laptop and walked out. "There's an open conference room across the corridor that you may find more comfortable."
"And it gets worse,"
I heard him mutter from behind me. I spun around after looking over my shoulder and seeing he'd picked up a scrap of paper where I jotted a note. When I tried to snatch it from his unyielding hand, it tore in half.
"I sincerely hope that wasn't a matter of international security."
"Sod off," I said, stalking into the conference room.
"Pushing me so soon to inform Ambassador Marchand of your unwillingness to cooperate?"
I raised a brow, studying him. The wanker looked bloody serious. He wouldn't dare. He laughed.
"No, but it would be worth it just to get another glimpse of your indignation."
"I'm curious, Officer Kappas, have you found this approach to be effective with colleagues in the past?" He laughed again.
"Many times, in fact."
"I suppose, then, it shouldn't surprise me you were dismissed from your position with the CIA. Perhaps your methodologies weren't as effective as you thought."